Good day, my name is Angelo, and this is Channel Up, where we give you updates on true crime, mystery, lifestyle, and a bit of African politics. Thanks for joining us. I told you I would bring to you the third part of Malik's confession about the alleged assassination attempt on Captain Ibrahim Traore. Secondly, the president of Namibia, all right, and her being the first female president of Namibia and the reforms she has put together in a very, very short while of coming to office. Okay, so I will be talking about her because she has made some reforms in her country that seem to, be identical with this sort of reforms that Captain Ibrahim Traore is putting on in Burkina Faso or has been putting on in Burkina Faso since coming into power from the coup in 2022. Now, I will be talking about her because there are few African presidents that are now, taking the struggle by storm to see to the fact that their country makes it out of any sort of economic crunch, poverty, insecurity, and any sort of problem that their countries are facing. All right. First of all, let's take the Malik story. Okay, more shocking stories are coming out from the Malik confession. The mysterious voice claiming to be Malik has returned in this part 3, the controversial audio confession I told you about. In this latest part, he has gone deeper into the alleged plot against Captain Ibrahim Traore, offering new names, supposed motives, and unsettling details about how the plan was meant to unfold. His words have gone further to suggest a broader network of influence and a sort of manipulation, raising more questions than answers that have ever been. Now, as with the previous parts, this audio remains unverified and the identity of the speaker is still unknown, not even his name. However, the gravity of the claims continues to stir conversations and concern across West Africa. So stay tuned and listen to the third part of the audio confession of the alleged assassin.
I betrayed not just a man, but a movement, a dream, a continent. One morning, while carrying a bag of rice, a soldier in plain clothes came to the village. He handed me a sealed envelope. Inside it were two things: a certificate of amnesty, signed by the president himself, a passport, with my real name restored. On the back of the envelope, a short note: some men are born with guns. Others find their power when they lay their weapons down. Keep building, brother. Ibrahim Traore. That weekend, the village elder asked me to speak to the young men, most of whom had no jobs, no future, no voice. I stood before them, heart pounding, and for the first time, I told the truth. I was a traitor. I was sent here to destroy. But this land, this dust, these children, they changed me. Ibrahim Traore changed me. Not with bullets, not with fear, but with mercy. There was silence. Then one man stood up and said, "Then you are one of us now." I still carry my sins, but now I carry bricks too. I carry hope, because of the man I once tried to betray. It had been months since the failed coup. The village felt like home. The people had accepted me. The children called me Uncle Malik. I had changed. But evil doesn't sleep. One evening, I received a strange visitor, a man in sunglasses, driving a black pickup. I recognized him instantly. His name was Pascal, one of the original 7 agents from our mission. I thought he was dead. "You look healthy," he said with a cold smile. I didn't shake his hand. We sat on a wooden bench under a mango tree. He looked around and said, "Malik, you're wasting away here. Come back. There's a new plan. Bigger, cleaner. The Americans want it done before the next elections." I stayed silent. They'll pay more this time, not just for Traore, but for his entire circle. 15 million euros. Easy. My blood turned cold. They still wanted him dead, even after everything. even after their first plan failed. I looked Pascal in the eyes. "I'm not that man anymore." He laughed. "You think Traore will protect you forever? The world doesn't forgive traitors, Malik. You'll always be one." I stood up. "Then let the world call me what it wants. I've seen a better one, a freer one, and I'll defend it, even if it kills me." Pascal's smile faded. He got in his car and drove off. I never saw him again, but I knew he wasn't alone, and that meant they were still planning something. That night, I couldn't sleep, not because I was afraid, but because for the first time, I realized I was no longer running from my past. I was standing in front of it, ready to face it, and I wasn't alone anymore. 2 weeks later, a soldier came to the village with a message. It was short. "The traitors are planning another strike, this time from inside the treasury. We may need your help. Come quietly. IT." I folded the paper, took a deep breath, and packed my bag. I wasn't being hunted anymore. I was being trusted to protect the very man I once tried to destroy. And I was ready, not for money, not for revenge, but for Burkina Faso. I once betrayed my country for money. Now I would give my life to defend it. They haven't stopped coming. But this time, neither have we. I arrived in Ouagadougou just after midnight. They didn't take me to the palace. They didn't put me in a hotel. Instead, I was led to an empty warehouse on the edge of the city. Inside were 5 men. Quiet, focused, armed. These were Traore's ghost guards, loyal only to him. One of them handed me a file. Inside were photos, maps, and transaction records. It was real. The coup wasn't just about guns this time. It was money warfare. Foreign agents had bribed key people inside the Treasury, Customs, and Central Bank. The goal? Crash the economy, make the people turn against Traore. And during the chaos, remove him, silently, swiftly. We spent 3 nights building a plan. My job was simple. Use what I knew about the traitor networks to bait them out. I sent a coded message to one of my old contacts. "Traore's inner circle is broken. Move now. I'll open the door." We waited. Within hours, they replied, "You have one chance. Friday night. Same price." That meant 10 million euros. Again. But this time, I wasn't taking the money. I was taking them down. Friday, midnight. The traders arrived at a hidden location just outside the Ministry of Finance. They were expecting me. Instead, they found Traore's elite guards, waiting in silence. No gunfire, no screaming, just hands in the air and secrets exposed. Among the men captured was a former minister, 2 businessmen with French passports, and a bank official with direct links to Switzerland. That morning, I was brought to the presidential compound. It was quiet. I expected a handshake, or maybe silence. Instead, Traore met me alone, in a garden behind the building. He looked older, tired, but calm. Still calm. He said, "The ones who betray us once are often the ones who protect us best, because they've seen the truth from both sides." He took something out of his pocket. A bracelet, made of worn brown leather and green beads. "This was mine," he said, "from the bush, before the uniform. Keep it, not as a reward, but as a reminder of who you are now." I walked out of that garden feeling light. I didn't need money. I didn't need power. I just needed peace. And that day, I found it. Not in Europe, not in a mansion, but in the dirt of a land I once tried to break, and now vowed to protect. Today, I teach security to young recruits in the new Burkina Faso army. I train them not to fight for money, but to protect something greater. I never told them my past, but sometimes I see a look in a young man's eyes, a look of pain, hunger, confusion. And I place my hand on his shoulder and say, "You can change. It's not too late. I know because I did." They paid me 10 million euros to kill him. But Ibrahim Traore didn't destroy me. He gave me a new life, and that is something money can never buy.
Okay, welcome back. That was the video there. Before I go further, this is the disclaimer. This video is an unverified confession from an unidentified individual. The claims made have not been confirmed by any official source or investigative body. This content is shared for informational purposes only and should not be interpreted as fact so far. Viewers are strongly advised to wait or to await further confirmation from relevant authorities before drawing any conclusions. Please, this is the disclaimer to that audio file, all right? I told you I stumbled over it and it should be seen as such. So without wasting much of the time, I will delve into what is happening in Namibia. Namibia is like a nation at crossroads of progress and challenge under the new president, Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, as the country's first female president. She is bringing more reforms than any of the presidents has ever done in that country, all right? Yeah, so Namibia, of course, in Southern Africa is kind of characterized by its vast deserts, rich natural resources, of course, and a complex style of colonial history. Okay, since gaining independence from South Africa in 1990, Namibia has been navigating the challenges of nation building, economic development, and what I would call social equity. All right, the recent inauguration of President Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah as the country's first female president has kind of gone far to mark a significant milestone in its political evolution, and this is what I'm going to be talking about right now. Now, the political landscape is like this. All right, in March 2025, few months ago, Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah was sworn in as Namibia's first female president, coinciding with the 35th anniversary of the nation's independence, of course. Now, her inauguration was attended by prominent African leaders, highlighting the significance of this event in the continent's political landscape in the whole of Africa, trust me. All right, so what were the electronic dynamics when she came into power? Now, President Nandi Ndaitwah secured approximately, according to poll results, 57% of the votes in the 2024 elections, extending the ruling SWAPO party's 34-year-hold on power. All right, now, however, opposition parties have contested these results, citing technical problems and extensions in the voting process, glitches and all. All right, but that is not our point of view today. All right, now there is an economic view I would like to give you about Namibia in case you don't know. Namibia's economy experienced a growth rate of like 4.2% in 2023, a kind of big decline from the 5.3% in 2022, primarily due to weak global demand and a contraction in agriculture. The fiscal deficit narrowed from 5.1% in 2022 to 3.8% in 2023. All right, but there is a kind of level of poverty and inequality in that country. Now, listen, despite being classified as an upper middle income country, according to the World Bank classification, Namibia faces high levels of inequality. Now, according to a report in 2021, it indicated that 43% of Namibians live in a kind of multi-dimensional poverty. President Nandi Ndaitwah has pledged to implement significant changes to address poverty and unemployment in her country. Voila to her. Well, that is what I would call a kind of green hydrogen initiative. You would know what I'm talking about when I begin. Namibia is investing in green hydrogen as a means to diversify its economy and promote sustainable development and all. Now, the government has entered into an agreement, okay, with Hyphen Hydrogen Energy for a whopping sum of $9.4 billion project in Sao Kaeb National Park, aiming to produce around 300,000 tons of green hydrogen per year. That's actually very, very impressive, especially in Africa. All right, now what is their education sector like, and what have they done about it? Now, the University of Namibia has established the Namibia Green Hydrogen Research Institute, the NGHRI, to support the country's green hydrogen initiatives. All right, the institute aims to function as a science and technology park only, promoting research and development in the green hydrogen economy. Now, I spoke about the educational sector because they had to strengthen that particular institution for it to be able to undertake a deep research such as this. All right. Now, they have a high level of water resource management, especially through the emergence of President Ndaitawa. Now, Namibia, being an arid country, faces vast significant water scarcity challenges. Trust me, in 2024 the government approved the construction of a new modular desalination plant with an initial capacity output of 20 million cubic meters of potable water annually to address the looming water crisis. Kudos to President Nandi Ndaitawa, all right? But there is a vast level of digital transformation and introduction of tech in that country. Now, listen, the Namibian government has been proactive in driving digital transformation over time. All right, the digital Namibia strategy introduced in 2021, few years ago, outlines a kind of comprehensive plan to enhance digital literacy, cybersecurity, e-governance, and data-driven decision making. Wow, this is like maybe the first of its kind. But their tourism sector is mad. I told you about their forest reserves and all. Now listen to me. Tourism is a significant contributor to Namibia's GDP, accounting for like 14.5% and creating tens of thousands of job opportunities every year. The country is known for its ecotourism, featuring extensive wildlife and unique landscapes, attracting over 1 million tourists annually. All right, I told you of Namibian lions sometime. I told you of Namibian wild animals. Okay, so they are top notch. Now they have a kind of visa policy and it has changed over time, especially last month in April 1st 2025. Namibia imposed visa requirements on citizens from 33 countries including Spain, requiring a fee of like 84 euros before you get them. This decision is based on reciprocity, as many of these nations impose similar restrictions on Namibian citizens in their own country. All right. Now, if you look at the historical context of Namibia's history includes colonization by Germany and later administration by South Africa. Now, between 1904 and 1908, German troops waged a kind of punitive campaign against the Hero and Nama, escalating into the first genocide of the 20th century. But in 2021, German and Namibian diplomats created a reconciliation agreement acknowledging atrocities from the German colonial period. All right, so that is what I feel would touch this part I'm talking about from their history. All right, but their demography is out of this world, and it's come up since President Dantawa took over power. With a population of approximately 3.1 million people, Namibia is one of the most sparsely populated countries globally. The country has a diverse cultural heritage, rather, with various ethnic groups contributing to its rich cultural tapestry. All right. Now, I told you that their population is top notch. Why? Because they are few, and so their resources are actually equal to their number. All right, but they've got health challenges. Trust me, and I wouldn't be happy talking about this, but trust me, the government is going further. Namibia faces health challenges, including a high HIV prevalence rate of 16.9% as of 2022. The government continues to implement programs aimed at reducing the impact of HIV and AIDS on its population. Now, because I know we don't have much time, I am touching some important sectors that have improved over time during the course of the presidency of President Ndaitawa. All right, not forgetting infrastructural development. Despite the remote nature of Namibia, okay, it is deep down into Africa's map. Namibia has developed significant infrastructure, including seaports, airports, highways, and railways. The Central Plateau serves as a transportation corridor from the more densely populated north to southern part of Africa. the source of 4/5 of Namibia's imports. Okay, so they are actually trying their best to make a living out of that. Now, what are their administrative divisions like? Namibia is divided into 14 regions, subdivided further into 121 constituencies. Remember, I told you they are a very little country. The most urbanized and economically active regions are Comas, all right, home to the capital of Windhoek, and Erongo, home to Walvis Bay, and Swapcomond. All right. Now, what is their cultural identity like? Namibians have a strong national identity, just like every African country, and they prefer the safety of their homeland so much. The country has the highest beer consumption per capita in Africa, reflecting its unique cultural traits. They take beer a lot, all right? So I don't know, but all right, that's not our bone of contention right now. What is their arts and representation like as regards culture? In 2022, Namibia participated in the Venice Biennale ceremony for the first time, showcasing the exhibition A Bridge to the Desert, featuring the Lone Stone Man and the project by the Namibian artist Ren. All right. Now, they have a high level of environmental initiatives that have been enacted in a very short period of time. All right. Namibia became the first Southern African country and the eighth in the whole of Africa to, let's say, to attend the Convention on the Protection and Use of Transboundary Water Courses and International Lakes. That's the UN Water Convention, if you can remember, that was held in June 2023, demonstrating its commitment to environmental sustainability. All right, so very, very good work by President Ndaitawa, and I told you I will break them down to you gradually, and I have just done so. All right, so without wasting much of the time, in conclusion, I feel that Namibia stands at a pivotal juncture, balancing its rich cultural heritage and natural resources with the challenges of economic development, social equity, and environmental sustainability. The leadership of President Netumbo Nandi Ndaitawa presents an opportunity for transformative change. However, achieving this vision requires addressing systemic inequalities, fostering inclusive economic growth, and maintaining a commitment to democratic principles. Namibia's future does hinge on its ability to navigate these complexities with resilience, hard work, and foresight, courtesy of President Nandi Ndaitawa. All right, thank you so much for staying this far. I decided to talk about Namibia today because I felt and I noticed that President Nandi has been trending for a very, very long time now, together with President Goita of Mali, and then Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. All right, other presidents too are trending, especially those who have brought about drastical and positive changes to their country. Kudos to them. Although I told you what, I will gradually digest everything to you. We don't support any country here. We don't support any political party, but we have content that will bring to you that will actually tell you why these people are trending, the reasons why they are trending, and what might go on in the near future. All right. So if you've been loving what we do here, come on, like our videos, share them. Don't forget to drop comments for us in the comment section. And if you're watching me for the first time, tap the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you will be able to see me firsthand when I drop a new info. Wouldn't you love that? See you next time from me. Bye.